Our schools are in a break for the holidays. Many of us parents who are going to face the daunting task of keeping our children entertained, engaged, and learning for the next 2 months. How do we strike a balance between work, family time, and also personal sanity? Mtuwangu manake their parents when you wago wanasema this is the most agonizing time of their parenting life, because look, for 2 months, that's why Brenda Karimi is here with us today to just help us navigate these 2 months zenye tuna face mtuwangu hapa. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. My name is Brenda Karimi, teens and youth coach, and I've worked with teens for over 8 years. I understand their reasoning, their thoughts, and how they process information. But also I've seen the frustrations with parents. Sometimes they're broken because of how their teenagers behave. Especially this time, it's a mix of emotions where they feel it's a time to spend time with their children. But then when these kids come home, then they're turning out to be something else, and it's becoming very a kind of a dance. So they are not sure, do we get excited, and the next minute they're asking for Wi-Fi password and staying on phone, for 8 hours, making trips from bedroom to the fridge,
Yeah.
And sometimes parents are wondering, then what do we do? That's it, and I'm here for the ride.
Amazing. Do you have teens? Do you have youth nyumbani kwako?
I have sisters. We have worked with over 10,000 youths.
Yeah.
Our programs are cut across over 36 counties here in Kenya.
Yeah.
But also I have quite a number of teenagers that I'm coaching across the globe. I have youths from and teenagers from Australia, UK, and US, South Africa, Nigeria, Cameroon, Zimbabwe, Uganda, Tanzania.
Yeah.
So
Amazing. What's normally the roughest or toughest bit about having our children come back from school and staying with us at home? What's normally the agonizing point?
Parents expect our children to be perfect and to think like them. They expect holistic, developed child, obedient, kind, calm, and everything positive in between. But unfortunately, when kids come home, they are now themselves. And being themselves, sometimes it means pushing the boundary, sometimes pushing the button a bit, sometimes trying to explore who they are. Because remember, in school, it's very, very structured.
Yeah.
And so there are bells all over, there are teachers on duty, so they're being guided. But then when they come home, there is a bit of freedom, which parents don't kind of appreciate, because then they think that you have been obedient in school, so why can't you just follow the rules at home? And they forget that at home, that's when they are at their best, and that's when they are themselves. So parents getting to understand that and conceptualize it and allow their children to grow sometimes become a little bit chaotic.
So we expect them to come and be these holier than thou creatures.
No questioning. It's do this, and they should obey.
And yet they look at it as an opportunity to now live their life, because back in school, structures, rules, regulations, time management, order, and everything. But at home, they want to feel like, look, I can do whatever I want to do because this is not my teacher, this is my parent, right?
Absolutely. And they come from school and they are so tired.
Yeah.
The issue of friendship takes their order on them.
Yeah.
They become so confused. There's pressure from academics. And sometimes, actually most of the times, parents look at their children as children and not human beings. So you're not able to see, this is my child, but he's a human being who has the desire for autonomy, to do their own things, to explore, and just to self-lead. So when they come home, that's all they want to explore. And especially the first 2 weeks, they just want to lazy around because, should be told, they are tired. Very, very tired. Yeah.
And so how should parents plan for such kind of holidays, especially the long holidays? What are some of the effective ways they should ensure that when our children or when their children come back home, they are able to balance being with them and continuing with their exercise of providing for their children without the children feeling overburdened or the parents feeling under pressure?
There is something that is very important for parents to understand. The the developmental milestone of their children. That's what's happening in their brain. The first thing is there is a part of the brain called the prefrontal cortex.
Ati?
Prefrontal cortex.
Slowly. Prefrontal cortex.
Cortex.
Yeah.
That's the part of the brain that regulates emotions, helps them to make decisions, help them to manage themselves, timekeeping and everything in between. That part of the brain is fully developed when they are 25.
Yeah.
There is another part of the brain that's called amygdala. That's the emotion part.
Yeah.
That develops faster than the prefrontal cortex. So then that means that children will make decisions based on their emotions. It's not because they are rebellious.
Yeah.
It's just because of developmental milestone. Then the dopamine, that's the feel-good hormone in them, is very high. That is why they want to get out and go and meet friends at the mall and stay there, and watch movies the whole day and go for sleepovers. So if a parent understands that, then it's very easy to strike a balance in that you need to enforce rules and guidelines and discipline in the house, but also understand this girl or this boy is being led by the feel-good hormone, dopamine hormone, and they are not able then to make decisions based on their, the logic part of it.
No.
So then you're talking through things with them. You can have a child and you want them to attend a summer camp or they want to attend a camp somewhere, but that's not their priority. They will go because daddy said so. Is that what they want?
No.
So the thing is, sit down with your child. And I will say that let them use your brain for a minute. Think with them. Show them why they need the fun, but also the education part of it. If you don't do that, then you are going to make a big mistake. That's when we say, or children say that, I did because daddy said so. I did because mommy said so. But also strike a balance. Let them have a sleepover in your house. They'll have friends come over. Have a cookery. Let them go to the mall under supervision. It's perfectly okay. Let them go for tuition. But discuss, have a conversation around that.
Like in your agenda, do you understand Swahili?
Yeah, I do.
Your agenda, you realize that kids have actually taken school holidays and then want to come home, but you realize parents were now subject to additional tuition classes. Okay, au wametoka kwa masomo, they want to come home and relax, stay away from the books and stuff. Unapata wazazi wengine wanawapatia tuition on the side. What's your take on that?
Oh, sometimes it's chaotic. Sometimes it works for the good of the child because then parents understand the potential of their children. I know of a parent who used to bring a tutor at home when she's at work, and the girl was genuinely tired, really tired. So then the girl will come, the tutor come, and then the girl dozes off during class. And you can imagine it's one on one.
Mimi used to doze off.
Analala too.
Bana.
The tutor told the parent, the parent was like, no, lazima kitu iendelee.
Lazima iwork.
Lazima iwork. And the tutor, because they were being paid, why not? Let me just come. So it's a dance. At the same time, there are those kids who need an extra push, genuinely, and they get good grades. So it really depends on the conversation you're having with parents or with your child. And I know parents don't like that. They don't like being told that discuss with your child, have conversation with your child, because they're like, we know everything. They will not willingly accept tuition, And so if you're working on a goal, for example, improve on math, then show your child why they need support and extra support. Draw that program together. Don't be an imposter. If they don't feel part of the program, they will not take it.
Your design. They should
design it. Watengeneze hiyo kitu vizuri. Pamoja.
Amazing, Sala. Amazing. And we know pia kuna zile activities zenye my parents wanataka ku engage in with their children to make the holidays memorable and create a bonding session as well as bring fun na vitu kama hizo. What are some of those that you advise? Kuna wazazi wako nyumbani wanashanga sasa hawa nitafanya nini now? The only thing we know ni kwenda nao kanisa Jumapili. Apart from that, what are some of those maybe activities that parents can get involved in with their children to create quality time, create memories,
Yeah.
perfect their bonding with the children, and then just ensure that they get to enjoy these 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truth be told, children are different, and in my programs, I help parents come up with programs for their children,
Yeah.
or rather, conversation that will help their children engage in various activities.
Yeah.
And what I always say: ask your daughter what they want, ask your son what they want, and listen to the ambitions, that they have, and ridiculous things that they have in their mind.
Yeah.
Some you'll buy into them, others they'll not make sense, to you. So the first thing is having a conversation. What are they? Because wako na plans.
Have a
Plans wako
conversation.
nazo. Waulize.
Mnataka
The
aje?
only thing they don't have is money.
Yeah.
You are the financier,
Yeah.
know. So just ask them.
Mnataka aje?
Tufanye
Mimi nataka
nini?
kwenda South Africa.
Mnataka kwenda wapi?
South Africa.
I have a girl yesterday in my program said they're going for vacation in Dubai, but the dad doesn't want.
Yeah.
So they're in that conversation. So they were asking me, so how do I convince dad that we need to go, to Dubai?
Yeah.
At the same time, there is some other, youngsters who want to go to Srike and just stroll, doing absolutely nothing.
Nothing, taking
just give them
selfies.
KFC and, just
and
eat
data.
and data.
Yeah.
And data perfectly. But then besides that, there are some other programs that can build your children. These ones, they'll not talk about them. There are coaching programs, there are mentorship programs, there are hikes, there are like the sporty activities around the community, around, where you're living. Explore them. And then don't do it alone, because the greatest challenge is going, sourcing, paying, booking and everything. Then you're like, kesho unaenda sa wapi,
Yeah.
And then the kids feel like, why did you have to make decision for me? And also the other challenge is parents don't want to hear that generations are different. They don't want, so they keep on throwing this line of si hata sisi tulikuwa teenagers, we used to, we didn't, hatukuwa tunauliza wazazi maswali, we were just being, we need to understand that generations are different.
They are
so
different.
this generation,
Yeah.
talk with them.
Have a conversation. Si kama sisi.
Nyi mliishia huko.
Unajua sisi ili unafika holiday options ni mbili. Kama uko Gishagi unaambiwa kuja Nairobi,
Yeah.
ama kama uko Nairobi unaambiwa uende Gishagi.
Gishagi.
Unapata?
Yeah.
Na ukibaki ni sasa mwende mkajipange. We never had our parents that were to guide on what to do. Sini tutengeneze magari za waya, ni tuende Mpara Road 4, ni tuende Mtelezo kwa milima na vitu kama hizo. Na kama tucheze ball kwa sana.
Yes.
Unapata?
Yeah.
But it's because our parents never wanted to know nyinyi mnafanya nini. Ilikuwa tu inajulikana what time have you left the house, what time will you be back. Like in this generation you're telling us that it's a different crop of individuals.
Absolutely.
They already have their plans.
Yes.
Kitu hawana ni resources.
Hawana do.
Lakini ukiwapatia resources watakwambia cheki mimi na maboy wangu
Yes.
tunafika Mombasa.
Yes.
What they are going to do in Mombasa.
You don't worry, but it's gonna be chaotic. And that's when our parent guidance comes in as much as we say give them what they want.
Yeah.
They don't know. They can mess around.
Yeah.
So they need supervision, they need guidance. They need to be guided on how to develop their brain. Help them, let them use your brain for a minute. Teach them how to make decisions, what to consider.
Yeah.
And I have girls who get out of the house with their parents away and go do their things, and their parents don't know anything about it, because mama kijua mimi I'm dead. Like mom cannot allow me to go out, dad cannot allow me to go out. So unataka mtoto akae kwa nyumba hadi when? So ata grow social skills when? What are you
Wacha
aende?
Lakini mpatie masharti.
And that's why I tell parents, teach them safety measures.
Self-care.
Yeah, live location on, send me the pin, whatever you're doing, ensure you update me. If you're moving, let me know, instead of usiende nje, because ataenda, whether you like it or not.
To some children, you'll realize that school is their safe haven. To others, home is where peace is. And that transition is where things get complicated. What are some of the signs that there is a complication during this transitioning period? And how can parents be actually supportive to their children who are struggling with the transition?
For example, your child becoming easily irritable by very small things. The things that we call sibling rivalry, like your older child cannot see eyeball to eyeball with your smaller child who is 4 years old, becoming very easily irritable by the smallest thing, by the house help, by the dog, the cat, staying in their room for a long time. I know sometimes we think it's normal, but it's not. When you try to reach out, how are you doing? Fine. How was your day? Fine. Okay. No. Those brief, short answers, it's a sign.
We call them monosyllabic responses.
Whoa. Yeah. They are not cool. You shouldn't take it, I'm fine, like I'm fine. Actually, when they say, I'm fine, they say, I am burning, Things are not okay. Oversleeping as well. When they don't have the energy to do activities, hygiene. How come they are hygienic in school, but then at home it's another world? So there are those things that parents see that they are not normal. Of course, they are growing and they need support, but you see something that is persistent. It basically means something is not right, and it can be coming from school. A lot of bullying, a lot of peer influence, negative peer influence, and children just trying to fit in. They have this teacher who bullies them, and the teacher even doesn't know. Before they went to school, they left some conflict. Their parents were having conflict. The mom was in South Africa, the dad was in Canada. They were not talking, and they were left with their auntie. And they went to school with that. They are coming back with that baggage. And so they are walking on eggshells at their home. They don't know, will daddy leave again? Will mommy leave again? So there are these things that we see as parents, and we think that children don't see. If you're struggling financially as a parent, your child is seeing. And yes.
Wanajua tukiwa msoto?
Wanajua sana. Because hey, they know. They know even if you decide to solve your marital issues in the bedroom. They know. Apa mama mechoma. Yes, they do. And they actually take sides even before they understand the full story. So if you don't have conversation with them, they will have story, and so they'll make decision based on that.
Overthink.
Oh yes, there's some girls who said, don't believe in marriage, I can't get married
because venye mama yangu ana maneuver
ni mbaya. It's chaotic. So there are these things that you will see and other things you will not see. So if you've had issues, transitions in the family, some changes that are happening in the family, relocating, genuinely unataka kutoka place moja uende ingine, it destabilizes them, because what about my friends? Where will I get more friends? So the things that we expect that these are the major issues, like sickness for you, loss of job, they're seeing you how you're behaving at home.
Guy.
Yeah. Guy. You are dealing with human being. Like I always say, they're full human beings. They're not mature, but they are fully developed in terms of their physics and what you can see. They are fully developed. So you are dealing with a human being mwenye anaona huyu msee yuko poa leo, ako na stress fulani. There are others who know, dada kitoka job usimuongeleshe. Don't talk to him. Sometimes if they need money, they come to you when you're about to sleep. Because they know, yes. Or when you're in a hurry. Yeah. Wanawajua.
So wana to manage manage.
Actually, more than you think.
Guy. So how can parents be supportive when you realize that maybe this transitioning is actually either uncomfortable for your children, or maybe it's a bit draining? How do we support them?
You can only support if you know what they are going through. Back to a question, ask them. Don't ask close-ended question. Ask them, how was your relationship with your friend, if you know their friend? Did she treat you well? How was teacher so and so? How is your relationship with the help at home? What do you want us to do for this holiday? What is really stressing you right now? How would you want me to be a better parent? So you may not get like direct answers, but trust you me, you'll have a clue of what they are going through in their mind. Ask them a question like, would you want to change the circle of your friends? And listen to the drama that will unfold. Most of the time they keep quiet because we ask the wrong questions.
Are you tired? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
No.
And then we are quick to give them solutions. If I talk to you, you don't want me to say, no, stop that, go and take a loan there, go. No, you want to be heard. You want me to listen and understand. And that's the same thing. Sometimes actually they know what to do. They just don't need you. They don't need you to advise. Listen and let them make them feel heard. Period. The moment you do that, they consider you a safe space. So then there are no other things that they'll go to do on the side. They'll come to you. They'll pick up a story. Daddy, you remember that girl I told you about? Now, she said we need to meet. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's a good space.
Yeah.
Because on the first space, you gave them that opportunity to speak their minds out. So then, if you realize something is off with your child, ask them, hey, I've realized you're staying on your phone for a long time. What do you like watching on phone? What's your favorite TikTok dance? Get into their world, because their world is totally different from our world. If you show that interest when it comes to their TikTok and the challenge and the hairstyles, the pink braids that they want to put on that are irritating you, the lashes, and the long nails, if you show interest in their world, they will invite you to their world. The problem is what's going through their mind. Some of them are trying to seek validation. And I know it sounds like cliche, but some of them, the likes they get on TikTok and IG is pushing them, because you don't recognize them. You don't see them. When they bring their grades, you're seeing the lowest grade, and that's what you're focusing on. You're not seeing they have moved from B+ to A in social studies or a different subject. So you're always criticizing them. You're always seeing that they are wearing, sweatpants and T-shirt and Crocs, and they're going to church. That's what you're seeing. But also you're not seeing that they are performing well, And now, because of you criticizing them and looking at the negative sides all the time, they consider you a negative vibe. Mm-hmm. You are negative energy.
But where we strike the balance, because if validation is what they are seeking, and you realize that some of the things that are doing might not be sitting well with you, they might be okay by them, but it's not well with you. How do you ensure that you address that? Because some of them youngins nowadays, when you're a bit strict or harsh on them, they term you as toxic. Yet it's just a way of them getting away.
They'll block you
with whatever they are doing.
Yeah. Discipline your child. Unfortunately, we discipline without teaching. We discipline without correcting and without guiding. I helped a certain family come up with an agreement, a disciplinary agreement.
Yeah.
If you do this, these are the consequences. If the curfew time is 6 p.m., you come at 7 p.m., you'll be grounded for the next 1 month. If you stay on your phone past 4 hours because I can't see, these are the consequences. If you sleep past this time, these are the consequences. So by the time the child is breaking the rule, they know what is expected. So then there will be no fights in terms of I've taken away the phone. You already know I'll take the phone away, But then what happens, Igunza? You discipline what you have not taught.
Okay.
You discipline what you have not guided, and
what you've not agreed on.
What you have not agreed. Then the kids get frustrated.
Yeah.
Sometimes parents shift the goalpost. We agreed curfew time is 6 p.m. It's 5 p.m. and you're already calling me. I think we agreed. You see, sometimes, back to what I said, these are human beings. If you have your contract, you'll follow your contract to the letter. But if the employer keeps on shifting goalpost, you... Yeah.
It becomes problematic.
Yeah. It doesn't sit well with you first as a human being. What are you taking me for? So it's the same thing. Discipline, and I'm for discipline all the time. Let kids know if you do this, these are the consequences.
Yeah.
But if you have not taught them, if you have not agreed them, honestly, it is unfair to discipline if you have not agreed on.
Okay.
And that discipline now helps them to grow. You help them know how to make decisions, how to communicate. If you're running late, communicate. If I need to pick you, let me know well in advance.
Yeah.
But then if there is not that form of communication, it's unfair. And you're not teaching them. You're just inflicting pain. And it's not going to help them.
I see.
Mm-hmm.